Greetings, everyone. Welcome to part 22 of Let's Play Final Fantasy. We are currently going through Realm Reborn. We just reported back to Minfilia about our investigation in Camp Drybone. Sensing that we might get into a fight, she sent us over to Mudamix's bubble pots in the vicinity of Blackbrush Station in central Thanaland to learn about materia, and we have unlocked materia, but not everything about materia. We've learned how to extract materia, and that what items materia can be used in. But we'll go more into materia in a different episode. We cannot equip materia to our gear because we are not a crafter, and the skills of a crafter is needed if we want to meld materia with our gear. But there'll be another episode where we'll show how to do that if you're not a crafter. And well, once she gets a crafting class, we'll come back again and show how to meld. But for the time being, let us continue with our quest line. We'll most likely be returning. We'll be returning to Minfilia and see what the next quest is. I'm guessing that she's probably going to be sending us back to Camp Drybone. Lord of the Inferno. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalj'aa to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalj'aa responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalj'aa are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provided to them, Lightbringer. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sargent leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. So, we are flying solo for this quest. Anyway, let's exit the Waking Sands and return back to Camp Drybone in eastern Thailand. We'll see you there. Okay, welcome back. We have arrived here back at Camp Drybone. In the midst of another big rainstorm, but we need to speak with the representative from the Flames, and they're most likely inside the building behind the Flame Captain here. Yep, right there. Ah, you're Lightbringer Kasmeer of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalj'aa and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man, Ungust, has been exposed. When they come to their rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, so we request the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalj'aa plot. If the mission succeeds, Lightbringer, let's make sure it does. Okay, so the Invisible City is up near the Golden Bazaar. If I bring up the map here, the Golden Bazaar, we are right here. If you go around that little horseshoe bend, it'll go up to the Camp Bazaar, the Golden Bazaar here. But if we take a shallow turn instead of a sharp turn, we'll go to the Invisible City, which is right here. It's more like a set of ruins than an actual city, though. So we'll see you at the Invisible City. Yes, we turn at the intersection here, and then we want to. Yeah, we want to go straight instead of following the path here. We want to make a wide berth. Wide here. So there are hunt quests that people can unlock. And every now and again you might see at level 50. They might not aggro on you, but just be safe. Try to avoid getting too close to them, because since we are only half their level, they can most likely one-shot us with these. But we want to go back into the area there. And most likely we'll get the ire of the imps. Maybe not. Okay. Good. Level 50 doesn't see us. Alright. So this is the Invisible City. If we continue straight, we'd arrive at the back gate for the Golden Bazaar. But we want to go into the city. And we want to go here. This is going to be a instance fight, so let's right click on the point and let's do Operation Amalj'aa. Is a bait in place? A man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalj'aa appear. Yes, sir. Ah! What is the meaning of this? Wait. Something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the immortal flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It's almost as if someone was feeding information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. So if we can, best to take out the archers and then the warriors. So since we are warrior, we're a tank class, that allowed us to not only take care of all the adds, but our higher defense and our area attack defeated all of them at once. But apparently, doesn't look too good for us. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Bring her. The rest of you, march. Traitorous scum. And so, while we put up a really good performance, unfortunately, we find ourselves prisoner of the Amalj'aa. Let's speak with the Flame Captain, or Flame Sargent, and see let's see what options we have. Kind of funny they left us with our weapons. I fear the Amalj'aa mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. And so our first trial has been unlocked, and that is the Bowl of Embers. Now, if we go to support duty, notice that it doesn't show up here, because this is not a dungeon that we're doing. This is a trial. So it's straight to a boss fight. So we're going to have to go through this the old-fashioned way. But bring up your duty finder, and then bring up the trials, and there you'll see the Bowl of Embers. But let me just see something here really quickly. Okay, so let's go and let's do our first trial, and we're going to try it as the tank, as this is a class I have not done during my first playthrough, so this will be a first for me as well. So let's jump right in. Ooh, we can do this with a party of NPCs. Let's try that. This is new. I stand corrected. Note, you may have to have reached Shadowbringers to unlock that feature. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you your ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeits. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of mine. By my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. O mighty Ifrit, my one true God, your words are my bread. Impossible! What sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that's the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal flame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. We'll explain what's going on, but first we need to take care of this guy. And also remember, turn on your tank stance as beginning of a trial and a dungeon, it's off. But he will not attack while we're sitting here. We have to initiate. Just like always, attack our foe and spin him around. Careful when the ground shows up like that. You want to run away from that. As soon as this nail shows up, you want to, everybody in the group needs to attack it. This is a damage check. If you don't kill it before his action, the group will wipe. Thankfully, we just got in the nick of time. You also want to get out of those. Any sort of ground marking that's not your own, you want to run out of. And that was an easy version of the Bowl of Embers. Her other attacks he did not do. Pray, forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalj'aa zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Peasant lot. Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from a Flame General's handpicked men. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Lightbringer. Had I known this mission would have proved so dangerous, I would have never left you to face it alone. You have been given a vegetable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'dahn interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th, or the 8th Legion. Actually, no, 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meteor of yours is too old to give any readings worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by the adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that's a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as our Lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. And just like that, we complete our first trial. There'll be many more to come. Be right back, guys. So if you look at the chat box here, you kind of get a glimpse of, or a hint of what happened here, but most likely the Scions will explain what's going on. Let's leave and report back. There you are, Lightbringer. Come on, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity after witnessing their gods' ignominious defeat. The Amalj'aa will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. But it ill suits you to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still a reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Lightbringer. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. If we were to start in Uldal as either one of the many classes that we can start in Uldal, Thancred would be the one we would have met instead of Yida and Papalimo. And he was the one who would have invited us to join the Scions. And the same thing is for Limsa Lamensa. The Scion you meet will be different. It wouldn't be Thancred, it wouldn't be the other two. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. Though that way I can claim to have contributed something to the mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Okay, and with that, we need to return to the Waking Sands. We shall see you there. Alright, we are in the tunnel to Vesper Bay here. Let's go back to the Whispering Sands and see what's awaiting us. The triumphant hero returns. Thancred's told us of the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Lightbringer her life. I wasn't there when the Amalj'aa took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrits. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have faced such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Lightbringer, it's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalj'aa undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal, Ifrit. Nor is the tale limited to Uldal. Similar incidents have been rife both in Lusa Laminsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists through creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air we breathe. Alas, this alone will not sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, that blue flame that encircled everybody. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unmistakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourselves with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Lightbringer. If you may be sure, it won't be long once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit. I fear you'll have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intends to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot but choose to worship. And so we Scions continue our fight that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Lightbringer. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the loss of his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis Swa would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. The attitude is going to come into play, but not towards the very end of Realm Reborn. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. Just to recap what Thancred said, once a primal tempers a person, essentially they take away their free agency, and not in the presence of they serve through fear. Their very soul is altered so that they basically their every waking moment is basically focused on worshiping and following the will of the primal that has subjected them. And this is not only done to the abductees, but the Amalj'aa who worship that primal. They're tempered just as much along as everybody else. And right now, there is no cure for that. Once you're tempered, you're tempered. The only thing that the city-states can do is basically put people to rest, because it affects the very soul. It's not something that can be undone with a potion or a spell. It's basically because it alters the very fabric of their being. That will eventually be dealt with, but not for a few DLCs. Anyway, that's all the time we have with today. Thanks for watching, and we will soon be doing more unlocks, but until then, have a great day.